How's it going, guys? So today we're doing something a little bit different. We are doing a bit of an interview, so me and Pokestocks decided to collaborate. Basically, I just ask him a bunch of questions, ask his opinion on certain things, and then on his channel, he goes ahead and asks my opinion on some certain things. So make sure to check out his video after this. But the call went really well. We had some really good discussions. I don't want to waste your time. Let's just get straight to it. So enjoy. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today, we are going to be interviewing a fellow Pokemon investing channel. We are interviewing Pokestocks. Pokestocks, thank you for coming on the channel, man.
Thank you for having me, Sam. It means a lot.
No worries, man. No worries. So we're going to be asking you 5 different questions. It's always good to ask people questions, get different perspectives. You know, we can always think that we're right, but the second we get someone else's perspective, sometimes our opinions can change. So we're going to be talking to him today, getting his opinion on a couple things. We're going to be asking him 5 questions. So now before I begin, I just want to say we did a very similar thing on his channel. He asked me some different questions. We were talking about Phantasmal Flames and a couple of things with Pokemon. So make sure to check out his channel. Links will be in the description or the pinned comments. But without further ado, let's begin. Alrighty, Pokestocks. So number 1 is, what are the top 3 sets you are the most exposed to with Pokemon?
So I think if I were to answer this, I'm going to look into the Scarlet and Violet era. The top 3 sets from Scarlet and Violet that I'm mostly interested in right now is probably going to be Prismatic Evolutions, Destined Rivals, and 151. Prismatic is going to be the number 1 spot, most likely. Just due to the fact that the set is still a little bit more alive and fresh, and what I mean by that is there's going to be a lot more in the near future that's going to be available for a lot of us to pick up. We have Sam's Club doing a reprint in, I believe, a month from now for ETBs, so that's going to be awesome to get them at an affordable price. And then overall, the set is still pretty affordable, actually. It's coming down a little bit in value with SPC taking a massive hit. And then Destined Rivals is going to be another one for me, and the reason I like Destin is it's holding its point, right? We're seeing a lot of the market continue to sort of just take a hit right now with a lot of products, but Destin Rivals is holding on, right? $385 booster boxes while we're seeing Journey Together, Surging Sparks, Mega Evolution continue to tank, so it's really nice and a bit refreshing to see, the quality versus quantity in this market still hold its name. And then 151 is going to be an obvious one. If I were to not choose 151, I'd probably get a lot of hate. But realistically speaking, it is a older Scarlet and Violet set, so you do have to keep that in mind. We're not going to most likely see ETBs or UPCs ever again at MSRP. So I do think this is pretty an obvious choice.
No, that's fair enough. Mostly into Scar and Violet. I completely get that. Scar and Violet is the era where, honestly, it's going to be an era where it pretty much makes the most returns from here on out until the next era comes out. And the next main era. We do have Mega Evolutions, but it's half an era. So yeah, that's some good picks. You're right, Destined Rivals. It's very interesting to see how it is one of the few sets where it's holding its price really, really well. And you can see that anytime it goes down more, you have a whole horde of people ready to buy it at that newfound price, which is very interesting because it goes to show you that it's not the kind of item people are waiting for a discount. It's not the kind of item where people are saying they'll try to get it at retail or they'll get it cheaper. It's the type of item where a lot of people are just happy to buy it whatever price it is, and if it goes down, it's a treat. If it goes down, that's a discount right there, and a lot of people immediately buy it up because of that. So that's some pretty solid picks you've got there. So question number 2 is, do you think 2026 will see the immense demand and hype we saw for 2025, i.e. Prismatic Evolutions, Destined Rivals, and Phantasmal Flames?
So I think personally we're on this down staircase, if you can picture that, where Prismatic Evolutions was the top and we're just slowly fading our way down. And we're starting to see this, right? You mentioned this in my video, how the overall hype for people waiting outside stores and stuff is slowly fading, and people who want to quick flip a lot of this newer product, especially as it is officially Phantasmal Flames release day. A lot of people are not making the biggest quick ROI as they once were for Prismatic Evolutions. So I think we're going to continue to see the hype continue to fade. But if you were to ask me, Destined Rivals and Prismatic and 151, I do think personally those sets are going to have a bit more aura towards them. And what I would define aura as in this case is more so they're just going to have more of a premium to them. They're not always going to be the sets that are going to fall dramatically. They're going to hold their price. They're going to hold their value. But in the near future, right? You got to keep this in mind. Phantasmal Flames, Mega Evolution, those sets are brand new. They're still brand new. So we are most likely going to see massive reprints in 2026 and possibly 2027. So those sets might be a lot more cheaper than say Prismatic or Dust and Rivals because those sets are a bit older and in a different era.
No, no, that is completely fair enough. That's honestly a really, really good answer. Number three is, what is the oldest set you currently own?
So the oldest set I currently have that's sealed in my collection is most likely going to be Cosmic Eclipse. The story with Cosmic Eclipse was I actually ended up getting it at MSRP after the 2020 hype. After the 2020 hype ended, product was all over the shelves, and you were able to find Cosmic Eclipse. Not the blisters, but you're able to find booster packs and a lot of collection boxes. Now, if personal story here, I go way back in the Pokemon TCG, and I opened a lot of Team Up, Unbroken Bonds, and all of those sets back in the day for MSRP. Those were the good old days. We'll never get that again. I remember, opening up Team Up booster packs and, you know, Shining Legend ETBs. It was crazy, and those are like now thousands of dollars, or even Team Up is like a $10,000 booster box, and it was crazy how just like 6, 7 years ago I was opening that stuff for like $4 a pack. But going back to the point, the oldest set I currently do own is going to be Cosmic Eclipse. Sam, what is the oldest set you have?
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting story, man. That is, yeah, it's funny. No matter what packs you open, you have to have
Yeah.
peace in your heart that it will be an expensive pack. My mate, he opened up like 30 to 40 premium collection boxes of Crown Zenith where it had 11 packs inside, and he paid like $2 a pack. And I said to him, I was like, you can open these up, go ahead. But will you be at peace when these are $10 booster packs? Will you be at peace when these are $20 booster packs? So it's definitely punch to the gut. But I feel like now that the market has done really well, we can kind of all open up packs. And if that ends up happening in the future where it does well, at least it's almost like at least you knew it was going to happen, right? Like at least walking into it, you had peace with it, which I think is a good thing, rather than every single time just being spewing that it exploded in price. Now the oldest thing I hold is Evolving Skies. I find it's the perfect balance where it is safe, it is an older box, so you've got that security, there's no reprints and stuff like that. However, you also have it being such a good set that I feel like it can make a lot of returns. So you get the best of both worlds, which is just a win-win. I do see Evolving Skies being a 10, 20, maybe even a 30k booster box in a long time, right? Like I think in the next 5 years' time, it's not going to be crazy to say that Evolving Skies will be 10k booster box. I think it'll happen within 5 years' time. 10 years' time, no idea. Would not have a clue. But the thing is that Evolving Skies is like the perfect balance in my opinion. So yeah, Evolving Skies takes the cake for that. So number four. Do you think Sword and Shield will make higher percentage returns than Scarlet and Violet in 2026? Now, just to make this question a little bit more clear, this is more of talking about the sets that will do the best. So, in my opinion, the sets that will do the best in Sword and Shield in 2026 is Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, and Fusion Strike. Basically, just the best. But then if we look at Scarlet and Violet, more than likely it's going to be Paldea Evolved 151 and Paldean Fates because those are going to go out of rotation. So the question to you, Pokestocks, is which one do you think will make a higher percentage return?
So I like to use this analogy, and this is the question to the viewers. So what do you guys think? Is it easier for a product? I'm not gonna call it a booster box. I'm just call it a product. Is it easier for a product to go from 1,000 to 2,000, or is it easier for a product to go from 100 to 200? And I think the obvious answer is it's easier for a product to go from 100 and $200, and you could take that answer and apply it to the Pokemon market. So Sword and Shield, right? Booster boxes now from almost every set are $5 to $1,000, right? 500 to 1,000. Scarlet and Violet, you're looking on an average right now as we speak, probably from 200 to 200 to 400, more realistic. And I think what's gonna happen is that in 2026 we might see the exact repeat of Sword and Shield, where booster boxes go to $1,000 a box and then they just stay there. So I do think, to answer your question, Scarlet and Violet will make higher gains in 2026, but long term, and if we're talking 3, 4, 5 years, probably it's going to be Sword and Shield, and that's just due to the fact of the low supply out there and how high products are getting. And going on with what you were saying about Evolving Skies, being, a $10,000 booster box, I could definitely see that happen. It's just going to take time and patience.
Yeah, absolutely. When you hold those older boxes, honestly, you've just got to be able to stomach like 6 months or a year with no returns. That's the thing about new stuff is all this stuff can happen, right? Like cards can explode and all these different things can happen. But the thing about older boxes is it's more of a slow but steady race, and sometimes it can be just like pretty much dead in the market, like Rebel Clash. I mean, even that has gone up, but mostly dead in the market. But then sometimes you can have those where you get rewarded for your patience, and yeah, those boxes climb up to insane amounts. But anyways, number 5, do you hold any other TCGs?
So right now in my sealed collections, I do not hold any other TCGs. However, I do have some random One Piece product that I got at Target because why not? But realistically speaking, I'm not heavily into any other TCGs. And the main reason I'm not into massive, other TCGs right now is personally just due to the fact of the time it takes to study. When I was studying Pokemon and starting my channel and doing all this stuff again, it took a hot minute to know everything, to know the best sets, prices, and data. So I personally think if I were to study another TCG like Magic, One Piece, or whatever's big right now, it's gonna take a long time to understand anything. And also, I'm a big Pokemon fan in general, so I have a general basis, but personally, I'm not a big, Magic fan or anything. So learning all that's definitely gonna take time. Do you have any other TCGs?
Yeah, no, that's completely valid. You're completely right that it takes a long time to really master it. It could literally be anything that cooks you for the first couple years. So it is definitely a long decision they have to make where it's like, hey, if you don't know anything about the TCG, the first couple years you're not really going to do that well. So what's worth it? Just doing what you currently do and just sticking at it, or giving this thing also a shot and a nice diversity for your portfolio. So when it comes to what other things I'm holding, I hold a little bit of Magic, not really a whole ton, but what I'm mainly eyeing is One Piece. Now, going back to what I said earlier about how if you've been in there for a while, you naturally know it, but you haven't really invested in it, you have a bit of an advantage versus somebody who's just jumping into it for the first time. I've been in the One Piece card game since OPO3, so the beauty is I am eyeing One Piece. I have never really invested in it, but here's the thing: I've been here for since OPO3. So I've held blue bottoms. So I know the market trends and I know different things that can happen. So it's almost like I can hop in the fast lane and just buy the good sets and buy the correct items and happy days. So for me, I'm eyeing One Piece. It's definitely something I want to get more invested into. Definitely something I want to talk about more. I really do like it, if I'm being honest with you. And I think it's always just, it's fun, it can make money, and it's always enjoyable to also talk about another TCG. So yeah, I am honestly eyeing One Piece. I think there's a lot of opportunities with it. Now, a big thing why I really like One Piece, first of all, I just like One Piece. I would consider myself a fan. I watch the anime, I collect different figurines, pop figures, and all that. So I do actually enjoy it. So for me, it's more than just money, it's actually enjoying it. However, something I've noticed with One Piece is that a lot of the Pokemon fans are also One Piece fans, and a lot of One Piece fans are also Pokemon fans. They are one of the few fandoms where they are almost linked in a sense, where they both have the younger generation hooked. They both have anyone from like 20 to like 30. Most of the audience is under 30 years old. And the beauty of that is that every single day that goes by, younger people generally they get jobs, they get better positions, they make more money, which means these items being blue bottoms or pre-errata cards or red bottoms or different boxes, every day that goes by, you have an audience of people that want it. However, they can't afford it. But every day that goes by, they become closer and closer to affording it, which is great. So that is definitely something I'm eyeing, to be honest. I'll definitely see about it in the future. It's always interesting. Do you just want to stick to Pokemon? Do you want to try out other card games? It's one of those decisions where you have to make a decision, but you also have to kind of commit to it. Because if you hop around, you're kind of just going to be wasting time rather than just focusing on what you know. So it is definitely something where it takes a lot of thinking. You want to see how the item does. You want to really make your decision. and be sharp with the decision before you jump into it. Because there's nothing wrong with doing just Pokemon. There's nothing wrong with doing just One Piece, but there's also nothing wrong with doing both. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a valid point. So, like, I like hearing different perspectives, what people got to say about different TCGs. So, I think what you said about, like, the younger generation and stuff was honestly kind of cool.
Yeah, no, no, exactly, exactly. Well, that's all I got today. Thank you so much for hopping on the channel, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Now, guys, make sure to check out his YouTube channel. I have a link in the description or the pinned comments. We did a very similar thing, but on his channel. But yeah, Pokestocks, do you have anything else to say before we wrap up the video?
Nothing that comes to mind. I just want to say thank you for having me again.
Yeah, well, no worries, man. Thank you for hopping on a call and talking about these different topics. It's always interesting to get other perspectives. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out his channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.